Previously on Dances with Dice. When last we left our heroes, Finian, the halfling artificer, Felix, the human bard, and Theo, the satyr fighter. They had concluded their journey on the boat down to the Royal Aftermeria mines, and after a myriad of adventures out on the long river journey, our heroes are ready to face the next perilous step of their job. Now, having arrived at the place of the death of the great dragon Metallus during the last dragon war, our heroes step forward into the next phase of their journey. What awaits them this week on Dances with Dice.
All right, so you guys find yourself here in the Royal Aftermeria mines. It is a bit of a valley. The actual scars of Metallus and therefore the mine shafts, they were kind of ground that was more elevated up and about. So those sort of sit on, I guess, what would now be considered little plateaus at this point. And the mines, the actual mining town, and a very old, large watchtower from the days of the war kind of dominate the landscape from the dock kind of in front of you. The town itself it's a mix of both a tent city and like sort of a frontier town, I think would be the best way to describe it, because most of the workers, they are transient. They come in, work several month contracts, go back to wherever their homes are, come back, go back, come back, go back. So there's always a state of impermanence around the Royal Aftermeria mines. The permanent buildings are things for like guards, education, governmental sort of management, things like that. There are several inns, several taverns, a couple of small shops here and there. And then the three largest buildings you see, one is like a major sort of city hall, kind of like town hall sort of thing. And then there are two large buildings that have some mining guild symbols on them as well. You guys would be aware that the two largest mining companies in the world are, of course, the Royal Aftermeria mining conglomerate, which is run by the government. And then there is the Yvain Mining Syndicate. They are located and mostly mine the Death of Chromatus mine sites on the other continents. But they do have a foothold here, as both mining companies do work together. The flow of Aftermeria, again, given how powerful it is and the fact that it can fully replace spell components, it can enhance spells, all of these things. It is a very controlled substance and can be, Finn, as you would be aware, with several experimental mishaps, can be very, very dangerous. There's a reason that Boom Boom got his nickname as he did. He's very famous for Aftermeria experiments going poorly.
Or going perfectly.
Depending on how you define them as a scientist. It's like you remember very distinctly there was this one time where it's like you came running in because you heard an explosion, the whole lab is on fire, and then the dean of the college ran in right after you, and the difference between you being like wide-eyed and it's like, oh my god, he finally got it to explode, and the dean standing there, it's like, oh my god, the entire lab is on fire.
Listen,
Yes.
sometimes you experience your lab being on fire. Sometimes this is something that you go through.
Sometimes,
Multiple days.
sometimes you wanted this. Sometimes you didn't.
You don't get to choose when that happens.
As someone dealing with the lab having to replace all of the sheetrock in the lab because all of it got water damaged, our insulation, we couldn't get it dry afterwards.
Oof.
It's not fun.
Oof. The mines the mines themselves, as you guys are already aware, the mine shafts go down into the scars. To your point, if you were looking at the map of the continent, the southernmost scar is the one that needs to be investigated. It is the oldest. It is the oldest one, and that is where supposedly these reports of strange creatures were coming from. You are to report to the town mayor at City Hall, and they will give you further instructions from there and will be able to direct you to possible helpful people in terms of finding out bits of information. And you have also been directed to the end of the shaft inn for lodging.
End of the shaft.
It's a
End of the
mine-
shaft inn. Also,
It's-
Got it.
also called just the tip.
It's a mining town. Of course, it's a mining town. We're not going to pretend they're not going to do double entendres.
We
or
did.
triple.
There is a bar near me, a gay bar near me called the Mine Shaft, where I live.
Hannah out here doxing herself.
On the other side of the street from
I'm
just
trying
the
to find
tip,
this
is there one called the Gooch or something?
No, it's called the cavern.
That's such a mean thing to call a vagina.
I know.
I was thinking it was a butthole.
Yeah. There's so many. Again, there's lots of things that it could be.
Cavern.
So you guys, where would you like to go first? Would you like to drop your stuff off at the inn, or would you like to go speak to your pseudo employer? I guess.
I want to go to the Gooch.
No, the Gooch. The Gooch is a brothel in the Tolinen Fortress. You got to go further south for that.
No! You gotta go south for the Gooch. I hate myself. I just want you to know that. Hannah, I would like you especially to know that I hate that I said that.
Can't believe you've done this.
You're never allowed to be mad at us again.
Yeah. It's like Morgan consistently gets mad at us for being horny. Also, Morgan starts the horny.
There's a member of my family that has ferrets, and I only remember that she named one Gooch, and I'm pretty sure the other two were synonyms for Gooch, and I cannot remember their names.
It's
They have-
She called one Scrote.
They have ferrets in this state?
No.
Okay, I was gonna say like in California it's
Idaho.
illegal. Yeah, okay, there we
Yeah.
go. It's illegal
They
to
don't-
own ferrets in California.
They don't like ferrets
Sad.
in California, which I've never really. Well, it's the child biting.
Invasive predator.
Yeah.
And
When
the
they
child.
get out, they have a tendency to.
and the well, again, this might be a rumor. I could be entirely wrong on this, so I will preface this. But I remember hearing a story back in the day where it's like the main reason that ferrets are banned in most states is one,
Not most,
They are.
only a few actually.
they are, well, why they're banned in some states, invasive predator, and two, they really, really like to bite children, like children specifically.
They do love to bite. That is another thing I have.
They're like, ooh, a tiny thing. I can bite
It's
that.
like-
So to be fair, if we judged animals based on how much they bite, we'd be banning golden retrievers.
This is also true.
Listen, golden retriever, they will go. They won't really bite. I can shove my arm.
So here's the problem. It's not the dogs. It's the way people act about golden retrievers. We think that they are like these innocent, perfect creatures. So people will let their kids terrorize these dogs and they ignore the warning signs that the dog is giving of like, hey, excuse me, I don't like this. So usually all of these are just like stress bites because people leave dogs unattended with kids. And kids pull tails and ears.
Because they're children and they don't
Yeah.
know better.
Yep.
There is one thing about is that golden retrievers do have a tendency that they'll smile and they'll show their teeth like, and so if you don't know golden retrievers well, you'll think you'll think that they're attempting to bite you. But if you shove your hand in their mouth, if you go like boop, like put your little like flat hand, not like whole fist, but like between their teeth, they won't actually bite down on your hand. They'll actually do the whole like gross. Ew.
Yeah, like, ew, get out
They
of his
don't-
face.
They're
Actually,
just smiling. They're
this
just
is-
excited. That is
This
not them
isn't a
baring their teeth to
duck.
bite.
Well,
Excuse me.
let's go.
I wanted a duck, not a hand.
Finn's like, oh, I guess let's just go see the freaking mayor. I guess at this point.
Yeah.
I want to get shit done. We've been on a boat for how long? A month?
2 months. 2 months.
2 months.
I'm
Yes,
down.
You,
Let's get
you
this
had,
job.
you had
Alrighty, let's go.
You had stretch breaks.
Let's get this bread.
Get this. Alrighty, let's go. And we're
alright.
heading to the mayor.
You guys, the town hall
Walking
is
along.
built within the old sort of fortress that remains there. It's really just kind of like a crumbling tower and like a bit of a like an open sort of barracks area, but the entire thing has been converted into a town hall. You arrive, you see a very, very, very bored looking dwarvish guard sitting kind of at a table there. Doesn't even look at you as you walk up. Name.
I'm Theo. This is Finian and Felix.
All right. Yeah, subcontractors from
Marishane,
yeah.
Company of the Law.
Yeah. All right. Identification, please.
Identify.
I hand him the notice that we got from the Company of Dela on the job.
He takes it, opens it, rolls it back up. All right. Do be aware that upon entering the premises, you are bound here forthwith by all the laws of the Empire. Your weapons, if drawn, will lead to unpleasant experiences. Please do not break anything. If you break it, you buy it. Mayor's office, third door on the left, on the second floor.
Unpleasant What do you mean unpleasant experiences?
He holds up a finger, picks up there's like a pile of daggers, like just sitting next to the table, like rusted over, like just endlessly used daggers. Picks one up, holds it to you, throws it behind him into the courtyard, and you watch as soon as the bare metal passes over the threshold of the courtyard, it's instantly vaporized into liquid metal. We take security
So I have I know he looks not
Oh Jesus
metal
Christ,
right
what
now.
the fuck is
Does
that? He's finally noticed. What the fuck is that?
So that's my.
Did you skin a dog?
I actually put the skin on the dog. It's a work in progress. Like, I think it looks pretty good, but it is made of metal. Is that going to be a problem?
No, it's not that if like metal just crosses over. Like he's wearing a full suit of armor. Like he walks back and forth across the. It is in it's harmful intent. Is the dog gonna bite anyone?
No.
Then you're fine.
Okay, fine. Look,
We're not in the business of melting dogs. So I suppose this is the first. That's a fair. Okay, that's on me. I'm sorry. It's been a long day. That was a fair question. This is the first metal dog that I've seen. So
GB's
All
just like bark, bow wow.
jaw unhinged.
Yes.
Woof.
Jaw unhinges. MP3 comes out. It's like, oh, I dislike that thing. Go on in. You guys are able to cross the threshold. You make your way up the stairs. You see various. Again, it's an office. If you've ever been to any town hall or capitol building, just adjust for size. You guys make your way up to the office. There is a closed door, and on the door frame, you see a very elaborate and actually gilded placard. It's very out of place because, and you guys would notice this, it is the only clean thing that is actually here, like kind of in the mines, like to the point where it appears that it is polished almost every single day.
What's the thing that's polished every single day?
The placard that says it says High Lord Mayor.
It's one hell of a title.
Yeah, and you
High
can
Lord Mayor.
Yeah, it's
Because you needed the High Lord in front of that.
Yeah, but it's also like you've seen it's like actually only Theo would be aware of this. Theo, you know that every elected government officials, there is no such thing as a High Lord Mayor. You're just the mayor. So this was definitely something he custom made. So you knock on the door and
High Lord seems very. Is he like more of an important mayor than like normal?
No, he just
Nar.
nar nar nar. No, now I can't. I'm Cockney of unculture. No, he just must have really wanted a cooler plaque. There's no such thing as a High Lord Mayor. You're just a mayor. I don't.
Oh.
Come on.
Also, you knock on the door.
This gives you an idea of who we're dealing with.
Finn kind of like he was like, oh, that's kind of cool, and he's just like, oh, like,
He's like, I wanted to be a High Lord Mayor. Okay, you knock on the door, and then coming from within, say, yes. Who is it?
We're here about a job from the company of Dela.
Yes. I am expecting you. Please come in. You guys open the door, and then sitting behind an elaborate, of course, mahogany desk, with a large high-backed chair, and you can barely see his like little bushy hair kind of poking up over the desk. It's very clearly a human-sized desk. And then climbing kind of on top of the desk is like, hello there, Lumtart Snippet, High Lord Mayor of the Royal Mines of Aftermeria. And you see this probably about.
I'm gonna need you to spell this man's name.
Lumbard Snippet?
Lumtart Snippet. Lumtart.
Snippet.
Lumtart Snippet. Sneppet. Lumtart Snippet.
Snippet. I like it.
Lumtard.
Lumtart.
Holy shit.
Holy snippet.
And what is he?
Either of these man's
No.
names could be a slur.
Honestly, it's entirely possible. It's like, I'm pretty sure I was called this like in high school. What the fuck?
You love tart.
It's got that bird.
That sounds
to
like
it.
a homophobic slur.
It's got such an edge to it. It shouldn't have. Thank you, fantasy name
That's what
generator.
the kids called me on the playground growing up.
Oh god. No, he's a gnome. Looks to be about 400, 500 years old. He's a little bit older for a gnome. Stands about maybe 2.5, maybe 3 feet tall at most. He is wearing a very elaborate 3-piece custom-made crushed purple, gold, and red velvet suit. Just like he's wearing a fez as well because he's kooky like that. And is just, again, it's a mining town. You guys are covered in magic dust to the point where like you could like run kind of a finger down one of your cheeks and like you would come away with like a line of sparkly dust. And he looks like he just stepped off of the runway. It's like, go ahead.
I was just gonna say out of character that I need this man dead because I have a long-lasting hatred of crushed velvet.
I was literally about to comment, like, Morgan, I was about to be like, hey, Morgan, how are you doing?
Nothing screams.
I heard the crushed velvet. I'm like, Morgan hates crushed velvet.
Nothing screams cheap pseudo fantasy costume than crushed velvet. Makes me.
Morgan hates crushed velvet.
Velvet is beautiful. Velvet is so nice. Crushed velvet looks cheap.
Exactly.
I'll die on this hill.
And there's a reason that he's wearing crushed velvet because it is cheap.
That's one of my fun trivia facts about Morgan. I've got like all this trivia, and one of them
Crushed
is Morgan.
velvet!
Morgan hates crushed velvet. Morgan likes 1 foot sticking out of the blankets and hates crushed velvet.
So he looks at you. He looks at all of you. It's like, well, you're here to work, right?
Yes.
Good. Well, how much have you been briefed about our issue here?
Not even slightly.
No, Yes, not very much. We just know there's something coming out of the mines. One of the mine shafts that hasn't been
shaft?
used since the war.
Tell me about your shaft.
Mine shaft. Creatures coming. No, you're not here to investigate a mine. Did they? Hang on a second. He's like pulls. He like dives through some paperwork, like pulls things out. It's like, yes, here it is. And like on like
Scrooge McDuck.
yeah, like on like a gilded and embossed piece. Like if anyone remembers, like when we were like kids and like our parents were like, use the fancy paper for your report. That'll get you a better grade. That kind of paper is what he's writing on. That's his everyday writing paper, like the thick cardstock parchment.
You see, before you, like, you know, Zach, when you say you don't like talking about, you don't like showing how white you are, I didn't have that kind of paper. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Well, heavy duty. He's writing messages on heavy duty cardstock, like craft paper level of shit. He dives in and he like finally pulls it out, and it's like a gilded and embossed, like it is calligraphy. This message, like you would like it looks like a wedding invitation. And it says, and he pulls out, to the fine company of Dela, to who it may concern et al. I have completely run out of necessary bathroom products. The bath bombs, the bubble baths, and most importantly, my personalized conditioner for my very specific hair needs have run out, as they were the ones who were able to find the original shipment and assured me that they were keeping it on hold for any future needs. That is why I put out a request. Why on earth would you be here to explore a mine shaft that some drunken hillbilly miners think they're seeing things crawl out of? Do you know how high you get snorting Aftermeria dust every single goddamn day? I wouldn't trust a thing that came out of their mouths.
Why would I don't Theo's like she's got like she's her hands are pressed together up against her lips. Apologies, sir. What sort of funky game of fantasy telephone, how would this letter you're speaking of get changed into the mission that we were sent? How do you suppose that happened?
I don't
Then-
know. I keep immaculate records, and he motions to like a mountain of paper just kind of sitting in the corner. My records are, as you can see, immaculate. And as always, I produce things in triplicate. And he pulls out a second sheet of the exact same letter, and then pulls out a receipt from the post office showing that the original one had been sent. I don't know what happened in transit, but all I can show you is what I sent. So where's my conditioner?
Why on the God's green earth would the company of Dela give a shit about your soap?
Because they were the ones who found all I can tell you is this. About a year ago, a very lovely dwarf gentleman and his rather tall, very intimidating, but still oddly beautiful, a porcelain robot person rolled through here, took care of something at the local inn. I don't know what it was, some sort of infestation of skrill bogs or something. And
Is a skrill bog a real thing? Is this man just stupid?
No, he's stupid
Okay.
as fuck. He doesn't know what a skrill. It's like he has no idea. And
Okay.
and again, the strange, oddly beautiful porcelain lady took one of the corpses, shoved it in her chest, and out came a deluxe set of bath products. And in her own words, "Oh, that was fun. I must do this more. I could create commerce or a business." So she promised me that at any point in time I could send a simple letter to the company de la, address it to et al, and she would know what they were talking about, and I could receive my bath products.
Can't believe Vonnie invented Lush.
Well, good news, everyone. You got a former Lush employee in this call. Let me tell you about soap.
Let me tell you about soap. So Vonnie, okay, so Vonnie and a dwarf gentleman. Did we meet one of the dwarf gentlemen? Did we meet the
You
dwarf
have
gentleman?
not.
We only met Brenneth.
You met Vani and Brenneth. You have not met anyone else from the company other than Mommy, who Finn is in love with. Though Finn is in love with every mommy that you run into, if we're being honest.
It'd be that way.
Okay.
Like Alex is out here. It's like
We
I won't be
don't-
judged.
Well, as you can see, there clearly was a miscommunication because I believe you're probably speaking about our associate Vonnie. I'm not sure who the other individual is. And they were not sent on this mission.
Is just perfect. And so where are they?
They were sent on a different mission, I
To
believe.
where?
I don't know if you have the what's the word? The clearance to know.
I'm the High Lord Mayor
You're the mayor,
of the
darling.
most financially
Honey.
important bit of real estate on the goddamn continent. And I have the power to send a message to the company themselves and have a response arrive to me pretty damn fast. So, where are they? My hair has been dry as a fucking bone for the 4 months, and it is about to start falling out. So,
Love.
Oh, look here, sir, because I am the Grand High Alchemist, and we have been sent here to do a job, and apparently we don't even have a job to do that we can do for you.
Finn, roll me a deception check and a performance check, please.
Also, just wanted to say that your connection might not be too good, considering that your letter. got
Also,
mixed up
hey,
in the
Eisen,
mail.
you haven't heard you in a little while.
Yeah, getting angry at someone who. Getting angry at someone who's being entitled.
For the first time ever, instead of Karma shoving her way through the border of reality, Eisen is here ripping a quarter of the fucking world open. It's like, all right, motherfucker, I'm back.
I just mean to say, considering his letter did not make it all the way through, and we were sent with a completely separate.
Oh god, I did not perform that
mission.
very well. I rolled a nat 1 on
Shit,
performance.
no, you didn't.
Okay.
He tripped and
And but I did roll a 15 on deception.
Okay. He looks at you for a moment. It's just like, why did your voice change there? Oh, and then he's like, why did your voice change there? And then as soon as you started yelling, GB like jaw unhinges. Rrrr.
Hey, no biting. We don't want you to melt.
And he's like, I'm sorry. I was unaware that I was in the presence of a fellow working man. Looking at you, Finn. I mean,
Isn't
but
Finn also a gnome? Is Finn a gnome?
No,
or a
I'm
halfling?
He's a halfling.
halfling.
He's a halfling.
He respects you.
I'm so sorry. A fellow working man. I'm sorry, but you understand. You understand my problem. Have you ever dealt with 4 months of wiry, gnomish hair? It doesn't stop growing. And if we're not constantly moisturizing it, it grows in dry. It's like straw up here. I'm just...
Felix, do you have any hair tips for him?
Nah, baby, this is natural.
Damn.
All right, I'm gonna go into my.
Pets his hair slightly.
It's like, oh shit. It's so
I'm going to go into. I'm gonna try to tinker with, because I have alchemist tools. I'm gonna use one of my healing potions to try and like produce something.
Make
that'll-
this man a
that'll make
hair
his-
serum.
That'll make a hair serum for this man.
Make this man a bath bomb.
Roll. It's an alchemy check, so it's the same thing. Intelligence
Welcome
plus
to our Dungeons and Dragons game.
intelligence
Full of
plus
excitement. We're gonna make some
proficiency.
conditioner, boys.
See, Felix is the type of guy that uses plain unscented Dove soap on his face, but somehow has the best skin out of anyone you've ever seen. And you're like, I have a 20-step skincare routine, and somehow you, like, aggressively rubbing a bar soap on your face looks better than anything I do.
Okay. Okay, so that's a 18.
18.
You is
okay,
definitely no help here.
Finn, you kind of like pull out like 4 or 5 bottles, and it's just like, all right, and it's like, and like you reach over, there's like an unlit candle, you shave off a bit of the candle and like dump that in there as well, shake it up, it melts down, and it's like, hands it to him, and he like takes it, it's like, and kind of rubs it in his hand, like rubs it between his fingers. It listens to it, like listens to it like he would a cheese curd.
Okay. Who has seen the dude who like is like teaching you how to like taste ice cream, and he's like, let it coat the tongue, and he like keeps making like the, and he's like let it coat all 500 taste buds.
I hate this.
Yeah.
Let it, and then he's just like, taste the vanilla, that's a 10, and it's like I feel like that's what
Yeah,
he's doing.
it's if you can imagine a food taster, like that's their job, but for conditioner, I guess. And he like rubs it between his fingers, like licks it a little bit, and it's like, my God, it's not perfect, but he like kind of like rubs it into his. Oh fuck yeah!
Theo and Felix are like,
So he's
And
just
Finn's
like,
even kind of just like, I'm glad
It's-
it works for
it's
you.
like-
Now, is there anything else? Are you sure? There's nothing else to do here.
you have scratched my back. I will scratch yours, fellow working
Please
stiff.
don't touch me.
Grand
Um,
High Artificer.
I thought you were an alchemist.
I am both.
Fair enough.
Did you
know
not
what-
see the robot dog behind me?
Oh shit.
shit. Oh shit.
Okay, so while I am firmly of the belief that every single miner that works here is high as fucking useless unless they're down the mine shaft. If you would like to speak to the particular group of chucklefucks who think they saw something, you can find them either at okay, I know it's called End of the Mine Shaft. You can find them at just the tip or the cavern. Ugh. They'll be in one of those two places. If they're not in just the tip, you'll find them in the cavern. If they're not in the cavern, just the tip.
Thank you, your High Lord Mayorship.
We'll work on that. Anyway, I have much work to do. And he chews you out.
If he had like actually been like, you're not that, I've been like, well, if we're making up names, I thought I'd make one up myself.
The deception check was high enough, and you had GB there.
I was trying to concoct the backup lie if you like completely fucked that up, so I'm really glad that it worked out because I was not ready.
I was like, yeah, you're the bard. This is your job.
I'm witty. That's all I got.
It was like watching a car crash. He spoke before me, and I was just like, all right, I'm gonna let this happen. I'm gonna yes and this, I guess.
Theo's like, I'm only good for hitting things.
I hard failed that performance. My voice cracked. Everything was bad.
You
But
peed just a little
A
bit.
little bit, yeah.
But GB saved it.
All right.
Arf.
All right. Theo is totally ready to get out of that guy's space.
As we walk out, though, all of like Finn's like confidence. He's like, "Oh, thank God he believed that."
Yeah, that was a goddamn miracle.
I've run into quite a few of those kinds in my days, but he has got to be one of the worst.
Yeah, Theo, very used to dealing with uppity government officials.
Mm-hmm. Who think they're far more important than they actually are.
It's just like Theo's out here. It's like I've met people who fought in the war.
How many
are useless.
How many potions did that use?
Just one. Just
Okay.
one of your healing potions.
Okay.
All right, so you guys can head to the two inns if you'd like, or as you're leaving, the guard hands you a toll pass, and basically it is a pass that will give you access to any of the mine shafts if you so desire. So you can go explore the mine shafts, do some exploration and some investigation there, go to either the inns to talk to those people directly, or just dive right into the you can forego any investigation like all good RPG players and go like, there's a big floaty star over there. Doot, 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 doot. I've been playing
Yeah,
a
we're
lot
not
of
gonna do that. We're
I've
going
been
to a
playing a-
tavern.
I say,
I've been
I say we
playing
go
a
to
lot
the
of
inn.
RPGs and been watching characters do dumb things.
All
Um,
right. Which one should we go to first? Should we split up or?
Well, you
I'm gonna
guys
say
have
unfamiliar territory. We probably shouldn't spit up.
Spit up.
Spit up.
Spit up.
you guys also technically have not gone to end of the shaft inn because end of the mine shaft inn because you opted to go to the mayor's place first. So that would be where you would drop your stuff off because that is
Okay.
where you will be
But
staying.
isn't that
Go
just
to end
the
of
ship?
the shaft.
Isn't end of the shaft and just the ship the same thing?
Yes, they
Yes.
are. But there
Okay.
is an official name that the owner desperately tries to get people to actually use because
of
it
the
is the
shaft.
end. It is the end of the mine shaft inn, and you guys will find it as soon as you walk in. As soon as you walk into the inn, the owner, which is a large male Goliath, looks at you. It's like, welcome. Welcome to the end of the mine shaft inn. I am your lovely host, Rupert. How can I help you? And as soon as he says, "How can I help you?" everyone in the inn raises their drink. Just the tip. And he's just like,
Finn snickers. Just like that.
There's
We're here to do some investigations, and we're also looking for lodging if you have the space.
Yes. You are from Company of the Law, yes.
Yes.
Here, I have rooms set aside already. Sets a key down in front of you. You are in one of our large group rooms. Everybody has individual bed and private washroom. Breakfast and dinner are included. Lunch, you may purchase from the kitchen itself. Rolf, excellent chef. When he is not, and you hear like what sounds like something catching fire and like a yelp from the kitchen. Well, when that is happening. Yeah, is there anything else Rupert can help you with?
It's all music to my ears, my friend. Though I did have a couple questions, if you
Yeah.
could entertain me just briefly.
Of course, how can I help?
We've heard tell of perhaps something people were seeing out of the mines.
Yes,
The mayor was,
an idiot?
Yeah.
Yes.
Put it
no one likes him here.
nicely, was rather dismissive
Yes,
of this.
Quick question. If you are here from company, that means company thinks there is a problem. But everyone knows he only talks to company when he wants shampoo. So,
we help.
oh, okay, great. I guess here's the thing. The people who they saw, the shadows as they call it, they are sitting over there, and he points to a group of mixed elves, humans, and there is one half orc. They were the ones who saw the things. They work, they're contractors for a smaller mining operation down south that were sent up here. Unfortunately, don't have any of their names. They've kind of been keeping to themselves since the incident. But I believe it was the half-orc who first saw everything. Now, a slightly separate problem is, when he kind of looks you over, it's like, well, okay, look, this is pretty obvious. You're not company people. You're just helping them out. So maybe a kind turn could do another. The High Lord Mayor, as you're aware, is fairly...
Selfish? Incompetent?
He should be apologizing.
Self-entitled?
He should be apologizing to
Literally?
the tree. He should be apologizing to the trees for making all the oxygen he's wasting. Is basically the gist. So, but here's the thing: when he runs out of shampoo, he goes crazy and makes all our lives hell. But when he runs out of his shampoo, he will go crazy and do anything to get more. So what we've been trying to do, because he's been sending letter after letter after listen, you guys seem pretty cool. So and he pulls like a side panel behind the bar open, and you see bottles upon bottles of conditioner stacked there. So I've been intercepting all of them.
Mail fraud.
You guys seem pretty cool. I mean, let me
Sorry.
tell you about my mail fraud.
I mean, you started shit talking. You shit talked the mayor without prompting. So he did the thing. He's like, he called the mayor an idiot, and you all agreed. It's like, okay, excellent. These people don't fucking care.
These people are cool. I'm gonna show you my crime.
So everyone has been intercepting specifically his mail. Shout out to the Dwarvish guard out here. He's been our biggest fucking help. Anyway, we've been intercepting his mail, so he goes crazy, and more importantly, leaves. Because once he leaves, we can then reset the security on all of the things and actually elect a mayor we want to have. Because he was like, I'll be 100%. He showed up one day, turned on all the security, and started calling himself mayor. And like, it's a mine. As long as the money is flowing, no one really gives a shit. But then about like 6 months later, an actual dude showed up and then disappeared about 2 days later. So everyone's pretty sure that he's dead at the bottom of mine shaft. So we would like to get rid of the other mayor who is a piece of shit. But if we kill him, that becomes a problem because he is currently keeping the money flowing. So we need him to leave so the money stops flowing. And then when they come and question, why is the money not here? It's like, well, the mayor ran off because he's an idiot. Also, all this shit's been happening. Hey, could we elect our own mayor?
So we shouldn't
This
have
is a
given him
tasty little
conditioner.
moral. No, we
gave-
needed to get on his good side. Listen. I apologize that we have caused a wrinkle in your plan, but as a token of our good faith with you, because we do want to solve the shadows and the mine issue, while we're here, perhaps we uncover something that Mr. High Lord Mayor doesn't want the people to know, and we tell him that if he doesn't get lost, perhaps the higher echelon back in Covenheim learns some saucy little secrets about him, so he never can have a bigger name in politics.
Well, I'm not opposed to that. If you can find anything down in the deep dark mines, well, let us know. Happy to use that.
Perhaps we find something, perhaps something
Just
gets
appears.
found.
Also, in our defense, it was
Like a
quite
body?
small. It was like a small bottle. It wasn't very. I'm
listen,
really sorry.
No, listen, you gotta.
Look, he wouldn't tell us anything.
No, I trust me. Listen. It's a game of it's a whole game of like make sure he doesn't like sick the guards on you and try to kill you. Versus he's obviously fucking incompetent and a useless sack of shit.
All right.
He did request shampoo on what looked like very
There's
expensive paper.
There's something about him. Like let's just he reaches behind him.
How much
pulls
does
out,
that paper cost? It looked like it was encrusted in gold.
He pulls down a bottle, like kind of pours you all a drink. It's like, here's the story. So, Lumtart, stupid name. Lumtart shows up. This is about, I want to say about 15 years ago or so. Just out of the blue one day, gnome dressed like the fanciest man you've ever seen comes strolling into town. The place was mostly tents at this point. Tents and a big stone tower that was half falling over. Strolls into town and says, hey, I'm your mayor now. And hands everyone a piece of paper. Everybody reads the piece of paper, and then, he was mayor. At least that's what the piece of paper said. But it's strange. And like you notice these things, especially like we're around the scars all the time, and the war's not too long removed, of course, but it feels like he's a hoarder of some kind. Like you've seen his, like if you've ever been to his office, the piles of paper, and he like pulls it, like, who needs this much conditioner? There's like 150 bottles here. And like all of the bottles are like 750 ml, like normal conditioner bottles. Like these are also, whoever this Vani is, amazing at production.
All I imagine is Theo's having like a freaking like mindgasm right now, like hoarder, dragons,
Aftermeria does something to your brain after a little while. Everyone's a little knocked in the head here. Constantly breathing in raw, untapped magical energy will do that to you. Don't stick around too long if you can avoid it, but he was weird when he got here. And obviously magic is magic, thaumaturgy is a thing, prestidigitation is a thing. I have never seen a speck of dust on the man. I've never seen him once dirty behind the ears. I've never seen a dirty fingernail. It's a mining town. Look at you three. You've been here what, an hour?
Oh no, we just look like this.
He reaches over, Theo, runs a finger down your cheek, and
Theo
there's
tenses because someone she doesn't know is touching her.
it's like he pauses and just kind of like, it's like, may I?
No, he did it.
He's like okay, we won't touch your cheek.
Back.
He
take
reaches
that
out.
back.
He reaches out, runs a finger along the bar, and in the time you guys have been here for about 10 minutes, and you saw him wiping the bar down as you were coming in. In the 10 minutes that you have been here, he picks up and there is a his entire finger pad is covered in like this shimmering rainbow dust. It's everywhere.
We're gonna be in a fucking mesothelioma commercial in 20 years.
Yeah.
You might. We might be entitled to compensation.
It's like, did you spend any time at the Royal Aftermeria mines from
Whatever year it is to whatever year it is.
from AWB 450 to AWB 575? You might be entitled to compensation for mesothelioma for breathing in Aftermeria dust for 25 years. Anyway, he looks at all of you as like, there are oddities about him that go beyond the man, because he's obviously a very eccentric person. But that's long-term goal. We've been working on that for a while. We're patient people here. We don't got anywhere to go. Dangers crawling out of the mine shafts, that is a problem. And that does need to stop. So, if you are here to deal with that, everyone will be happy. And if you guys find a way to deal with the other problem, we'll be extra happy.
Noted.
I do love ruining the lives of ungrateful fucks. So that's just a hobby of mine, though.
Hey, we're all about that here.
Right then.
Right.
Well, noted. Information taken down.
Shall I schmooze?
Let us schmooze.
I am going to buy a round for the group that
Okay.
he pointed out.
Okay, that'll be like 2 gold. All things considered for a full round.
And they're from the south?
There are several, you guys would all be aware of this, there are several like subcontractors. So basically the Royal Aftermeria Mines is, if you imagine the giant corporate, like the government corporation that then leases, actually, it's like the government leasing drilling rights for oil and stuff. Basically, they own all of the Royal Aftermeria things, and they have their own mining operation, obviously, but most of the work is done by contractors who like buy leases or like are contracted to work certain sections.
Okay. Cool.
They're with Talinin Mining and Groundbreaking, TLG, or TMLG. No, it'd be TMG, Talinin Mining and Groundbreaking. I don't know where the L was.
All right. So I'm going to have that round sent to them, and then I am going to walk up with my own drink and sit with them.
Okay. They all raise their glasses to you when you sit down. One of the human pipes up. It's like, thanks for the beverages. Your name is
Felix.
Felix. Nice to meet you, Felix. I'm Brannard. That right there is Jack, Jimmy, Torlock, points at the half orc, and Bean, and he points to the elf.
There was some whisperings in Mare Shane, specifically around the Company of the Law, that something was in the mines that shouldn't be.
Roll me
I
an
was
ins-
told that you gentlemen might know more.
Actually, no. I roll your insight checks. I just realized that.
Yes.
Theo's
I
gonna
get to
be
roll
like
those.
Theo's gonna be kind of standing off to the side listening, but
Finn's totally
not-
getting a drink.
not trying not to throw off Felix's groove.
Yeah, I'm not a talker, I'm a drinker.
Sorry, I have to open your character sheet. Oh, you're good, Dan. You've got good insight.
Felix is being the pretty twink, asking the nice strong men if they have any issues that he can help with.
Okay, well if that is the case, please roll me a performance check first.
Shit. Performance.
Undoes a couple buttons on the poet shirt.
Exactly. 23, baby.
Okay. You do the you do that. You do like the flirty thing where it's like when you slide the drinks across, like the fingers linger on the other fingers just a little bit long. There's a little twirl to the hair. Everyone's kind of the humans aren't really interested all that much. The elf is actually, like I said, Bean, she is interested, and the half orc has taken interest. Your insight check, however, you were flirting a little too hard, so you miss the shiver of tension that sort of runs through everything. But because of the flirting, everyone's still friendly, and it's like Tormok sort of pipes up, is like, "Who wants to know?"
Me and some stronger friends of mine. Well, buff-wise stronger than me. But the Company of Dala has an interest in getting rid of things that aren't supposed to be there. We're here to help.
As soon as the words things that aren't supposed to be there and exit your mouth, you hear Bean sort of pipe up behind you. We shouldn't be here. Sort of like shakes her head a bit. It's like, I'm sorry, were you saying something?
Internally screaming.
It's
That's
like,
not a great sign.
It's like Tormok looks at you. It's like, oh, sorry about that. Bean, she has been here the longest. She's one of the. He kind of looks at you. It's kind of like does like a swirling motion with his finger, like for the air, and then taps the side of his nose, and then taps the side of his head. She's been here. She's been here a bit too long. We've asked her to retire. We've asked her to retire, but she loves the work when she's able to do it. You all right, Bean? And she's kind of like you've noticed that Bean unless it's being directly spoken to, is just like eyes unfocused, disassociating, staring off into space, like, Oh no, dinner was great. Yeah, don't be a miner for 2 centuries. Especially during a war. Don't have a mine shaft collapse on you either.
I highly doubt that I have the constitution, like someone like you, to be able to last such a long time with doing such hard work.
You get used to it. Gentlemen, if they are sent to help, I think, well, I know the rest of you are still recovering, so I will, come. I'm sorry, your name was again? Felix. Come, show me to your friends, and we will, I can take you to where things are.
So right as this is happening, Finn comes up with like holding his like second pint that he's already finished his first, and he like slams it down. He says, "So I heard you guys have been seeing some weird shit coming out of the mines."
Oh my god.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Finian, no, and
But what are you?
That's when Theo comes over, like,
just grabs him and like drags him away.
It's all good. We figured it out. Come on along.
And so you guys kind of go walking off. Felix, please roll me a perception check.
He's leading us to get mugged.
15.
We're getting another mug. I've had 2 already.
You notice that, and you notice it especially as you're leaving, but then it kind of clicks with you a little bit. Bean, while they have been, it's very clearly a disassociative look. Every 30 seconds or so, you catch their eyes focus and are staring directly at you, and then they'll unfocus and then refocus, then kind of disassociate again. Then they'll refocus on you. You've noticed that the entire time.
I'm in danger.
You've now retroactively started noticing that as well. Tormok sort of kind of leads you guys out. It's like, right, are you all up for a bit of a walk?
Ready as I'll ever be.
No problem for me.
Okay. It takes about an hour. You guys have to walk about about 2 or 3 miles south, because you are heading to the lowest shaft. It's about mid-afternoon when you arrive, probably about like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, so the sun's kind of just hanging overhead.
Finn's
and-
writing GB2, by the way.
Of course.
Anytime we go in any, we're like, he's mounted.
He looks, and you guys will all notice this as you're walking along, because you guys roll pretty well on your perception checks for the mine shafts. This particular like gouge out of the earth, it's still kind of like on that plateau like the other ones are, but this one is it's very untouched. Like where on the other ones you can see like the drilling and the work that was done to install elevators and safety lines, like all the things that make a mine work. The other chasms at this point, it's been about 100 years. The other chasms at this point almost just look like mine chasms at this point, not even like gouges out of the earth. This one still has the most gougy, like it almost looks like Dragon Claws ripped this up yesterday. It's so untouched. Tormok looks at all of you, it's like, we were given the first contract in almost a century to go try to start excavating the original Metalis shaft. This was, and he kind of like bows his head. This is where the Great Dragon Mother first entered her death throes. So it has always been sacred ground, somewhat. The issue we had was as soon as we started laying camp, breaking ground, and you can see like some like lines running down, a couple of like winches and pulleys sort of like laying discarded by the side of the thing. In the evening, we're not sure, it like a shadow, literally a shadow, came out of nowhere, destroyed all of the equipment. It attacked and killed 2 of our compatriots. We were able to fight it off. It was afraid of not light, but what's the heat, fire. It was terrified of fire. I don't know whether it was because it's a creature of darkness itself or what it was scared of fire. It was fast, and without any light to see, it will look like liquid shadow moving amongst darkness. It was terrifying. But
Finn kind of looks over at Theo like, liquid darkness.
Theo says nothing.
You just see the glance because it's like that's what went through his mind.
Theo's thinking about the book that we read about the dragons getting hit by some form of lightning, and suddenly there was this black inkiness about them.
The final thing is, they are whispers, and not. You all hear the stories. You breathe in Aftermeria dust for 20 years. You start to sometimes hear things occasionally. But those are just voices, sounds on the wind. Something is down there, and it is talking to us. And I don't know what it is.
Is this when you're within the mine?
When we are actively working upon the project. Like if we're just standing here, I can hear nothing. Not a sound.
You know,
But
does it say like? You
does it
said you were
say?
talking to it. Does it say anything? Does it say anything? Like, does it actually?
Finian, do me a favor. Go over to that pulley over there. Like there's a pulley and a lever and a winch set up. Just give a tiny pull on the rope.
Okay.
You walk on over. You give it a tug, and as soon as you give it a tug, you hear a just come like rising out of the cavern. And as soon as you
Immediately
release,
just like what the fuck, like, let's go.
and as soon as you release the rope, you just like it like sort of like the stops, and just at the very end you see here.
Was any of that
Intelligible.
intelligible? Yeah.
The only thing you heard at the end was leave.
Huh. He. Huh. Yeah, you guys want
I'm-
to try that? I couldn't really understand. He told me to leave. I understood that at the end.
No,
I'm gonna also try it because I want to see if
every-
it's in Draconic.
Did we hear it? Did we all hear it?
everyone heard it.
Okay.
Oh.
Was it in
Okay.
Draconic?
It wasn't Draconic.
Oh, then I should know what it said.
Want
Okay.
to see?
I speak
Okay.
Draconic.
All right. So, do you both speak Draconic?
Yes.
Yes, we both.
So it was just a repeat. It was just a repeating phrase. Sacred blood flowed here. You are not welcome. Leave now. Leave. Sacred blood was spilled here. You are not welcome. Leave now. Leave. And that was just, it was repeated endlessly until it switched to common for the final.
Is there a religion at all that follows Metalis as if she was a deity?
There is not a religion per se. The only religion around dragons was the cult of the dragon, because very specifically for all of the chromatic dragon, or not the metallic dragons, all of the metallic dragons always kept their pact with the gods that they would live, work, and serve side by side with mortality. It was the chromatic dragons who formed the cult and actually began the worship of dragons. There were certainly people like very much in awe of Metalis, obviously, and viewed her in a deific light. But because of how the world is structured, and more importantly, how the dragons acted within the world as either conquerors or protectors, there was a very clear line between deity and deity-like, and the dragons never crossed the line into deity for non-chromatic dragons. So this would not be, and more importantly, no cults of any kind have arisen in the worship of Metalis post her death, or just a melancholy in the fact that the mother of dragons is dead. So this is very much sacred ground, and there's a reason, like, this scar has never been touched before, because it was, as Tormach said, this was like the first, like, as she was dying, the first like claw, like the spasm of her claw, like, in her death. So that's why this one is very sacred and has never been excavated at this point. It was also the most shallow. It's believed this one only goes about maybe like 100, 200 feet down. The other two go 400, 500, 600 feet down into the earth, because those were her back legs and they're much more powerful.
Did the Emperor commission this vein being opened?
I'm not sure. It came through the Royal Aftermeria Mining Company, of course, but the Emperor... Long live the Emperor, long live Anthony, and long may he reign, but there's something afoot in the capital. The High Council, they've been making moves, I think. We never receive orders. Every contract, every job that we've ever received at TMG always comes on royal letterhead with the seal and signature of the Emperor. This one, just a plain piece of parchment, a royal seal, and just the Aftermerian Empire as its signatory. Or I'm sorry, as the Mercian Empire as its signatory. And obviously everyone is aware, the first in the original Mercian line. This is our first emperor that is not an original member of Matthias's line, but the point of a government is supposed to be strong and able to withstand change, and there are concerns amongst certain people that not all is afoot. Is that the right phrase? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay, I'm still learning Common from still picking up on Common here and there.
You're doing excellent so far.
Thank you. But yeah, we stopped as soon as the whispering started. We stopped. Though careful with her, please. But Bean did come back not too long ago. I think maybe a day or two later. She said that she had figured something out, and I don't know. She came back. She was a little more Bean-like than normal. You know, a little more. But nothing too terribly different. I'm sorry. Unfortunately, I think we're simple miners, not adventurers. We hear strange voices coming out of the ground. We run.
No, you've given us plenty so far. One more question, if it isn't too difficult for you.
How can I help?
Being her absent phases, did they start when you started
No.
excavating here?
She's always had little pauses here and there. That's not new. What is it? What was the word she used? She used something in. I don't speak Elvish, but she used it in Elvish. Truesit? Is that what it was?
Does that mean anything to me?
Not,
Or me, I speak that now.
No. He's trying to translate from Elvish into Orc into Common. So it's like he's doing the multilingual thing in a sense, like Truesit. Truesit. Truesight. That is what it was. She said that the mines the Aftermeria had finally blessed her with something good for once, instead of being completely airheaded. Apparently, all the snorting of the Aftermeria dust after 2 centuries gives you true sight. I would not suggest doing that. It's very, very bad for you.
Shit.
Is anything else I can assist you with?
I think we've
I
got a
suppose
good
she's
place
going-
to start for now.
Yes, I think we'll want to go back and talk to Bean and see what perhaps the true sight helped her figure something out here, something she saw here.
Or we could explore here for just a little bit longer and see what
No,
else we
I
can
didn't.
find
Oh
first.
my God, Theo, I didn't even think about that.
Yes, of course.
We
if
haven't
she has
talked
true
about-
sight,
we haven't
she
talked
could-
about it at all, and
She could see something here.
no, but more importantly, the true sight. She had been talking about that before the shadow, and she was there that night. Maybe she. Oh my God, mein Gott.
Yes.
Oh no, this is perfect. We must go back. Come, and he starts like running back in the opposite direction.
Do we really want to run the whole way? Okay.
Shut up, Miss
boys-
Muscles.
Okay.
And as
Felix is quaking, Felix.
you guys,
Don't worry, Hannah sees it. I'm pretending I'm trying to not meta Theo.
Felix.
He definitely would have made a face.
Yeah.
Oh, well then I would have to insight his ass.
Okay.
Would you like to insight my ass?
I'd love to insight your ass.
That
Even
ass
though
is
you're a
immac-
bard and you can deceive.
The
Insight
ass.
But you
your
made a
ass.
face, so
The ass is immaculate, is what it is. Deception check, please, Felix.
Don't you roll that for me?
No, you still roll your deceptions. I just roll the insight. I roll the insights and the
This is
In
the
the
worst
insight.
lying I've ever done. 8. I did
I don't have
not
very good
school my
insight
expression
anyway,
very
so-
well.
I probably don't have very good insight anyway, so.
Theo. You ask Felix. It's like, hey Felix, everything all right? And they say, absolutely, nothing's wrong, and they are lying through their teeth to you. Something about true sight is bugging them.
And I make the connection that I remembered that he got those rocks, those fun little spectacles, because we were there for that.
The true sight monocles, yes. you
We
would
we
remember
know that he. Oh
has-
my God!
What?
She can see you, can't she?
Well, I'd hope she can see me as I am
True
a
sight.
person.
She doesn't need one of your fancy little monocles you got from the Everyman. She can see it just right on you, huh?
I surely have no idea what you're referring to.
I know you're lying.
Deception, please.
No, I'm just not giving her information. It's not that I'm like trying to lie to her. Like I'm obviously like obfuscating at this point.
Okay,
I'm not even
okay.
pretending that I'm not.
Right.
But
Yeah. All right. And as you
Things
guys
will
make
find us
your
soon enough, huh?
as you guys make your way back to the town, or what you could call a town,
Bean is dead.
that is where we will end our session for this evening, or for this afternoon. Thank you all so much for joining us for another episode of Dances with Dice. Please follow us on all social media channels at Dances with Dice, and when you use the hashtag DWDcast or DWDart, we'll use you as named NPCs in the show. Thank you all so much for joining us again, and thank you so much for joining us every single Tuesday for new episodes of Dances with Dice.